Hello everyone and welcome back to the Sedona International Film Festival. I'm your host Carol Kahn. We are coming to you live from Yavapai College. Yavapai College is one of our sponsors along with Northern Arizona Healthcare, Goldenstein Gallery, BMO Bank, and the City of Sedona, along with our hoteliers, restaurateurs, and many other sponsors that we'd like to thank, and our volunteers as well for participating in this year's film festival. And joining me now is Riley and Liz from your film Down Home. Welcome.
Thank you.
And we have in Austin, Texas, and Brooklyn, New York.
Well, Austin for like the last 17 years, but
Oh.
born and raised
Oh,
in
okay.
Brooklyn. Yeah, I'm born and raised in Brooklyn. Yeah.
Awesome. And we have some security pillows.
Yeah, just keeping them close.
I love that. Well, welcome. So good to have you here.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, are you enjoying Sedona so far?
It's great. Yeah, we've been hearing about the vortexes, so we've been trying to tap into the spiritual
The energy, yeah.
We just did the cathedral
Oh, yeah.
hike, so that was cool.
What do you think about Cathedral?
It was beautiful. Yeah, it was snowing.
It's cold out there.
Yeah, but then once you start moving, it's not so bad.
Yeah, and it's that tall hike up, but I think it's one of my favorites for the vortex. Did you feel anything when you were up there?
Oh, that's a good question. I felt kind of cold.
Yeah. Not dizzy or anything. No woo-woo
Yeah,
stuff
not dizzy,
happening?
but we're still waiting for the effects to
effect?
kick
Yeah.
in, I think.
I feel pretty good right now.
Yeah, I feel
Okay.
good.
Well, here's a little
Residual.
secret I'm going to tell you. I know everyone talks about the vortexes, but all of Sedona is a vortex. So
Ooh.
you'll feel it wherever you go.
Okay, cool.
Love
So
it.
just keep that in mind.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Good. I know. It's so talking about vortexes and everything else here for your film.
Right. There's
about
also
that.
that.
Well, I'm glad to have you here. So tell us a little bit about your film Down Home.
Yeah, okay, so Down Home is a short documentary. It is about a sleepaway camp in a small rural town in Texas, and it's for adults with developmental disabilities. And so Riley and I went out there for a week a couple summers ago and just filmed that entire time and hung out with the campers, and we're just sort of at camp ourselves, and then, created this film about that period of time and these people in this particular place. Yeah.
Wow. And what was your going into it? Did you have any preconceived thoughts going into this, and then coming out of it, what was that like?
Yeah, I think we both had our own childhood summer camp experience that we were, we had some peak memories that I think inspired why we wanted to do a summer camp film. That nostalgia and just that joy. And we had a friend that taught yoga at this camp, and she said it was just a really special place. But yeah, we wanted to let it just unfold naturally. So a lot of it is cinema verite, just observational. We picked a few main characters that we thought were interesting and just kind of let the story tell itself.
Wow. And what was your takeaway? Each of you, what was your one big takeaway from doing this and walking away saying, wow?
Yeah, I think for me, the thing that I keep coming back to is just that what the camp meant for the campers. It was this place where they could be free, where they were loved, where they were in a community of people, where they were safe and comfortable to be themselves. And yes, it is a camp for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities, but everyone, it's universal. Those are all needs that we have, and in the outside world, a lot of those needs aren't being met for people who have disabilities and for people who don't. So it just felt to me like this reminder of to live a life where you're thriving, and it feels joyful. These are things that we all need, and I feel like the film really encapsulates that.
Yeah. And Riley?
Yeah, and I would agree with that. Just the joy that these campers, some of them may have had a rough life or a rough home life, but just being together in community and having this space this week to be away from their, to be in this unique place and just focusing on having fun. It really is a kind of transcendent thing that it's easy to forget in the hustle and bustle of life. so we just us being there was so fun, and we got to slow down, and they were dancing and just laughing and having so much fun, and we really got to tune into that with them while we were filming it.
I think that's the experience, right? Is actually being with people that have disabilities, because either on one side you can feel sorry for somebody because they have that, but you don't really get to understand or really emerge into their world until you're actually with them, and you were with them for a whole week, not just an hour or two. You were there for the whole entire time. So that's a little bit longer. So is there anything or any one person in your film that you actually really connected with, that you just have this great memorable experience with?
Yeah, I think there were a lot of people. I think Ian was the guy that we were initially drawn to, and he's kind of our main character, but then as we go through the film, we kind of branch off to other main characters. But Ian was just so spontaneous and funny, and he was a figure skater, so I think he got like second place in the Special Olympics. So he was just very, tuned into his body and movement, and not ashamed at all to just get up and dance in front of everybody, and truly lived in the moment, and that was just really inspiring.
Yeah, and he has Down syndrome, and so I think for us too, it was like being able to just, like have him sort of tell his own story, and like he is like super fun and silly, but he also has a depth to him, and we really wanted to try to portray that in the film and let him just kind of be himself, and through him, that I think is really evident.
Was this at all part of the Hole in the Wall? Are you familiar with the Hole in the Wall gang camp? It was through like Richard Petty and the Pettys who started this whole concept of having these kinds of camps for children with disabilities. Are you familiar with that at all?
No, I don't think so. Okay. What's the title of it?
It's called Hole in the Wall Gang Camp, and it started with race car driver Richard Petty and Paul Newman. Actually, Paul Newman started it a long time ago and then collaborated with Richard Petty. And so they still do it. I want to say there was one in Phoenix, if I'm not mistaken. So
nice. Yeah, we got to check that out. I know while we were there, we heard a little bit about their origins, and they used to. This is Texas summer too, so it's 110 degrees Fahrenheit, and back when they started, they didn't have air conditioning, and so we were hearing these stories of them where they had all these people were out there and they were in tents, just sweating, and still doing the whole situation. So.
Oh my gosh!
It's been going on.
Has your film been shown here in Sedona?
Today will be the first screening. It's today at 4:10, and then it'll be on Saturday as well. Yeah, and like I think the early afternoon. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. And how can people find out about your film?
Look us up.
Do you have a website or anything?
Yeah, I mean, I have a personal, my name is Liz Moskowitz, Moskowitz. So yeah, I'm on Instagram, and lizmoskowitz.com is my website. Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you both for being with us. It's a pleasure having you. I can't wait to hear about your film and comments that our audience makes. So I'm looking forward to seeing you once your film runs. So it'll be fun.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. And don't forget to watch us live on Facebook, as well as follow us on social media, #SIFF23 and the Sedona Film Fest 23. We'll be back with more from the Sedona Film Fest after this. Thank you.